Hey educators, welcome to my channel, Tea and Teacher. In our series of invisible everyday heroes of education, we are trying to get the heroes who are less known and learn from their experiences. I feel each and every teacher has something valuable to share from her box of experiences which she has gathered together in the years of teaching. So I started this Everyday Heroes of Education. Today we have with us Ms. Tasneem Rangwala. Welcome, Tasneem ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure being here.
Same here, ma'am. Now, before we move ahead, let me tell you something about Ms. Tasneem. Tasneem ma'am has been in the field of education since 20 years. She is an ECC certified educator. In her journey, she has been teaching pre-primary and the primary students of CBSE board. And she has received certificates for classroom management and class setup. She has received certificates for puppet show and as a discipline in charge. She has been a strong link between the parents and other teachers. She has been honored for high standards of discipline and for being present to school every day. She has received certificates for excellence, for brilliant, motivational powerhouse for students, and she has been admired by her students. She is certified for completion of teaching critical thinking skills and problem solving skills. This is just a short gist about her. We are now moving to the question answers, and we'll be learning from her the experiences which she has gained in the years which she has put together in her teaching experience. So, welcome, ma'am. Shall we start with the questions? I'm going to
Yes, ma'am.
boomerang on you now. Okay. So,
Sure.
first thing, what are your expertise, ma'am? What are you good at more?
Okay. My expertise lies being an ideal teacher, building an overall development to make their basic foundation strong and healthy. So, and also guiding them to become an appropriate future citizen. And the journey as profession has made a passion where I've been teaching since 20 years in a CBSE curriculum based school with innovative teaching strategies, lesson plans, and pedagogies. Also, I was good in puppet play to create voice modulation of different characters and as well as expertise in building rapport with parents and students.
Okay, that's
Then
great.
basically love to be with children, which had become my passion towards teaching. And my main expertise is like building a good foundation for phonic knowledge. So whereby, students can quickly become confident readers and, independent writers.
That's great. That's great to know, ma'am. My next
Thank you.
question is, ma'am, what motivated you as a, to take the job of teacher? What was
Okay.
that thing, which motivated you to become a teacher?
Okay. So like since childhood, I never dreamt to be a teacher. But then later, when I got married and I got kids, my second child was facing difficulty with finer motor skills. So, whereby his teacher asked me to help him during class. So, I used to be with my son and other kids who were slow learners. So, at that time, the school principal saw me volunteering the class as a parent and taking initiative to teach the students. So she guided me to train myself and get, to become a teacher. So and this is how I got motivated to take up a job as a teacher.
That's great to know. Means your own experience led you to become the teacher. Wow, that's
Yes,
great.
ma'am.
Because after mothers, we are great teachers, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Uh,
you.
Next question is like you have taught primary children. So, what is one thing which you would like to tell the other primary teachers or other teachers?
Okay. One thing I would like to tell is like, ma'am, yeah, being a teacher, like we teachers generally follow the academics subject wise, that is what we look into. But what I feel is like you should really give moral values of life to the children besides academics, because that should be inculcated in them, so that through stories and real life situations, because that will definitely help them to lead their life in a systematic and a disciplined manner. And as teachers, another thing what I would like to do is like one more thing. Sorry, ma'am, I'm adding one more thing. The thing is, teachers should be take rounds. Generally, it doesn't happen after children finish writing. They just pile up the books on the table. That should not be so. We can really do better things like when the children are writing, we need to take rounds, so that we can rectify their error whenever they do while writing, and rectify by themselves so that they learn better way, where they have gone wrong, and that will definitely help them to learn in a better way. So this is what one I feel that I would like to tell the private, so please look into this. I'll be really, happy if the teachers are doing this.
So it's a good motivational thought of yours, to share this with the other teachers where, they are learning something new from you and from your experience, like what they should be doing with the children rather than, just making them right or, so the moral values and all this are very important, which is missing in today's generation, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, what challenges did you face as a teacher and how did you cope up with that? See, this question would really help the other aspiring teachers, who really want to become good teachers.
Yes. The challenges what I faced is, ma'am, like for more than required number of students in a particular year, like, so that was a really challenge for me. And the how I overcome that was, like setting up the classroom furniture to keep an eye contact with the kids, with each child, so that, I don't miss out with any child's learning. And another thing is what hyperactive students, another challenge what I faced, misbehaving, in the class. So those kids, I used to, make the monitor. I used to give the monitorship to those children, so that, like monitorship in the sense like, for example, taking care of the materials in the classroom and the cupboard. So and they have been given, those monitorships so that they would take extra cautious about their things, where it is kept or whether it is out of place, and they used to keep it because they have been ultimately end of the day or by in a week or so, I would ask them rather, where are the things kept, how many books were there, and the subject wise it was displayed in the cupboard, and they used to monitor all, have a, look into all those things, so that used to keep them busy. Another thing is like not all can do this, so there were a few students, so I used to give them turn by turn few students, I used to shuffle whatever the work has to be done, monitorship, like cleaning of the classroom. Like once they finish their break, short breaks or long breaks, the things they should see that not any food is not fallen down, or keep clean. No waste should not be on the floor, on the ground. So these things, they kept on monitoring, and which made them busy, so they were not mischievous. Like they never had an opportunity to do that, and they kept on doing this, and which made them more disciplined.
So
So this
it
helped them,
means to say that when there were more students, you manage the classroom by arranging the sitting things. So if sitting arrangement is a very important thing because the teacher should be able to see all the children, and so that her
Yes,
teaching is reaching to the children and they're learning properly.
yes,
Otherwise, some
correct.
children would be left out. So that's a very good advice and the challenge what you faced and the way you coped up. So that is going to help the other teachers, how to move about if they face something challenge like this, because with today's scenario the children are really very naughty, and to handle them it's really very difficult task for a teacher, and it's a everyday stress adding factor to the teacher. So I think this is a very nice thing which you have shared, ki there, where the the teachers can arrange the seating arrangements, and and then if there are children who are very very hyperactive, you can give them the leadership, inculcate leadership qualities in them and enhance them, instead of labeling them as a naughty child. So that's really very
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Now, ma'am, tell me one more thing. How do you think a teacher can motivate young children of primary, since they're very small and they require support and help?
Yeah. First of all, as a teacher, ma'am, we need to come down to the child's level to understand them in a better way. And secondly, they need to be given assurance, like a teacher should always there for them to guide them, and whenever they require our help. So teachers should encourage child's playway exploration as well. Whenever they are doing something, we need to encourage them, we need to applaud them, and try to find them, a way out if they are in trouble. So if they are not able to solve things on their own. So just to guide. Otherwise, if the child is doing their child-centered activities or any activities done by the child, if the child is doing fine, we have to just keep a watch on them, how they are doing it. And then whenever they are doing these, activities, we need to ask them open-ended questions, you know, and connect learning, like whatever they have taught, the previous knowledge, we need to connect them with the learning, with their, and it should be as per their interest. So that they would have fun, they would have, be have a fun time while learning as well. They would enjoy learning. That is what I mean. So, and then we need to give them the feedback on the good and the bad as well, so that they know where they went wrong and whether it is the right way that they are doing. And certain rewards, we should offer rewards as well and celebrate achievements. Like if any sports or anything they have got, they've won the match or they've stood first, then we should have that. It should be, you should tell the class, everyone to know about it, and you should be, it's a praiseworthy, right? So we need to, applaud them, so that they would next time they will really like it will motivate them to do better and better, right? And positive feedback has to be given to them, so they will always follow the positive things, they will not look into the negative things. So introduce like new lifestyles, like sorry, learning styles, and to understand concepts very well. Like, and then we have to work them, like if the children are not willing, we should actually make them, work as a team and encourage them. And if certain kids, if we are really, exhausted, we can literally start the day or end the day with a, exercise for mental health, to be more attentive in class. So these are the small things which will definitely help them and support them while learning.
So what I understand, in a gist from your saying is that you have to have peer association for the children, so they get support from each other also, and as a teacher you have to motivate them, for being self learners also. Okay,
Yes.
that's great. Um, Ma'am, my next question is, what was the major challenge you found in online teaching? And another question would be like, what did you find better, online or offline teaching? Because see, due to the pandemic, we all have suffered. The whole education fraternity has been in a despair, of stress, and understanding not only the teachers, the students, the parent. It was everything new for the children. So tell me one thing, like what was the major challenge you found in online teaching?
Major challenge, what I found is like, ma'am, the children were not able to connect with the, like the teacher was not able to connect with the children, like who are quiet and who are not active, who needs personal attention, right? So, and the ones who are not attending classes as well. So it's very difficult during online sessions. And of course, like online will helps to teach through various tools, but then digital literacy and technical issues, due to which we cannot complete the lesson, during a particular lesson, even that we had faced as a teacher, during online sessions. And another thing was abundant distraction, like by few students, lack of discipline,
Hmm.
because they just wanted to, bully someone, or, irritate someone, and they didn't want to pay attention. They were not finding any interest towards learning, like, because online is like, literally you are getting detached from the teacher and that personal physical touch. So that also was a problem for online. And like online teaching have lots of flexibility and accessibility from for global learning, right? But then whereas offline classes provide students a practical learning, as well as in the fall within the walls of physical classroom. But then it allows students to closely interact with the teachers, like and participate actively in group discussions, and like activities also. So there are both, ma'am. Offline is has advantages as well as disadvantages. So but then discipline is a thing which you cannot maintain in online, I feel, as a teacher,
So
because
that was the
discipline,
major challenge.
yes, that is major challenge, because we can do many things, activities as academics, everything can be done online with various tools we can learn. But then discipline cannot be maintained in online. As far as I feel so, because discipline, it has to be a personal touch, and like the teacher has to be physically present, so that we can rectify, we can tell them what kind of discipline has to be maintained. If they're doing something wrong, we can correct them, and like this will definitely lead them, being a future citizen. It will help them in a long run, how to be maintain discipline in their life as well. So this is very important, because everything we need to discipline: eating, living, learning, then leading our daily routine life. Everywhere we need discipline. In studying also we need discipline. Without discipline, nothing is possible. We can't achieve what we
So
need to. We can't reach
you
the
mean
goal.
to say is that online teaching, there was a lack of discipline, and there was
Yes.
no physical touch. But I feel the same thing, because education is not only teaching. It's like teachers are molding emotional behaviors, in the classroom. So when they are physically present, it is more easier to handle the behavior. But when they are online, it was difficult for the teachers to. So, but in your opinion, what do you feel, offline education is more better?
Yes, I feel so, ma'am.
Oh, so
Because online is like we can, whatever the child is facing the problem, there and then we can solve it, We can guide them how to go about. And basically, writing part, whereas learning is oral, everything is fine. The verbally we can do it online, that's fine. Orally, whatever questions has to be asked, that's fine. But then what about the writing part? The teacher is not able to look into the writing, what the child is doing over there. So this will definitely help into look into the writing part, whatever the how the handwriting has to be, or the formation of letters, and whether they are writing the spellings correctly. So all this will definitely help when you're physically present over there.
okay, but if you go to see, ma'am, don't you feel that the education system had quite a big change this time? Where they said, okay, if the child is not writing, okay, if the child is not learning, the child should only understand the concept and all. But I personally, even I felt the same thing, was that um, child being physically present helps a lot in teaching, because offline teaching added gave advantages. I agree with it. It gave advantages to the teachers through blended learning. You could show videos. Things became easier. You did not have to prepare separate papers, books, or something like that. But then definitely it added lots of stress to the teacher fraternity, right? And when the teacher is stressed, I feel she passes on the stress to the students. So it was difficult for for the teachers to handle things on online, and even the students had the same thing. They were not able to cope up. So I stand by your opinion, ma'am. Very nice. I agree with it. Next is, ma'am, give one suggestion. how teachers can help small children become self-directed learners. You see, self-directed learning is being said, you have to make the children self-directed learner. They have to learn on their own. You do not have to do your teaching. Give them the opportunity. So what are your views on that? Okay, how teachers can help small children, because primary children really need help.
Okay. See, first of all, I would like to say about the self-directed learning. It is actually a natural way of learning, child's natural way of learning. And it's a skill that can be taught and nurtured in all children, from a young age. So that is like, so if the learning has to takes place from the young age, we need to literally give them opportunities for exploration. The child manipulate and then they learn by doing. So that is what actually takes place in self-directed learning. So what I suggest to all the teachers is to have patience and remember that kids are capable. Okay. So great opportunities for exploration has to be given. We cannot stop them from what they want to do. Let them manipulate, let them do. So this is what I want to tell children. Be patient with the children, but just guide them when they go wrong or if they need any help. Let them explore as much as they want. This will definitely lead them to do more, hands-on experience, which will help them to do in a better way, and the learning takes place in a better way.
Nice advice, ma'am, given by you for the aspiring teachers or the teachers who are still teaching, who can understand how they are going to make the children self-directed learners. Because I always say that teaching becomes easier if you give the opportunities to the children to learn on their own. Ma'am, my next question would be like, why are critical thinking and problem solving skills important for today's students? And if you could share any strategy, where the teachers can develop these problem solving skills in students, which I feel they are lacking.
Okay. First of all, the problem solving is the result of critical thinking, So it involves discovering and analyzing the problem with the goals of finding the best possible solution. So to overcome the obstacle, like any obstacle is there, so it helps them to solve those, problems, and you have to find a solution for it, right? So, and it helps the children's curiosity. I mean, makes the children curiosity, it builds the curiosity in them, and it is one of the most valuable skill which helps in real life situations. So now the strategies what I want to tell the teacher can develop as problem solving skills are like, if any problem is there, you have to define what the problem is, right?
Yeah.
And then the child has to visualize the problem carefully and properly. And then after visualizing, break it into small pieces, right? And then again redefine the problem. After that, collect and organize the information about the problem, what the child is problem, how did, just he has to collect and organize the information, whatever the information he can get from the problem. Okay. And then later on, again, if the child is, he can think over more like, what is the root cause? What can be the root cause of the problem? And then later, the child can use the method like what we generally do, in like does, what, why, when, how, where, and who. So these are the questionnaires that the child can use to find out the problem, why this problem has occurred. And then answering back helps to identify the steps needs to be taken to solve the next, how to solve it. Or else can use the past experience, maybe some solution he has done or he or she has done, whereby, he can use those past experience, And then the next, in case still not happening, then maybe can bring a facilitator to approach, someone, how to go about with this. or use a trial and error method. There are various trial and error methods which can be done, to how to solve the problem. And then, like evaluating every now and then. I'm sure sometimes you get frustrated and you say, now I need to quit. It's no more, it's not my part, I cannot, giving up, like kind of a thing. So what I say is, like, as a teacher, you should never give up. Problems will come in each and every stage of life, learning, academics, and in how the way you are going to lead your life. Without problem, there's no life. So we need to inculcate this in the children, that you should never quit from the problem. You have to boldly face it, right? So to face the problem, maybe to a certain extent you want to quit or you want to give it, but then never do that. In fact, you should rest or step away from the problem until ready to approach again. This will definitely, you will feel energized and focused, so that you can again get back to that. You get the rhythm of doing it and you say, no, yes, I have to do it, I will do it. And that's how, it will help you not to quit and get over it, and then you will definitely solve your problem.
So
So
I would
these are
like
the,
to add, sorry to disrupt you, ma'am. I would like to add one thing, like as a strategy, the teacher should give situations in the classroom, where there are problems coming and ask the children to solve. I think, what you shared before, forming the groups, making peer associations, if that is done, and given the situations where they have to solve the problems, I think these steps what you have shared would be very useful to solve the
yes,
problems, right?
yes,
Yes. Ma'am, my next question is, for the teachers now. Like, since this channel is for teachers, I would like to, for you to give an opinion why cultivating positive relationship with other teachers is important, or why that interpersonal skills, when you are dealing with the other teachers, is important.
yeah. Cultivating positive relationship with other teachers is important, ma'am, so that you can maintain a healthy environment in school, where the place where you teachers are working, right? Besides, there are a few points which will definitely help, like we need to be trustworthy, right? So that we don't backbite or, gossip about other teachers. And then we need to listen. The second point is you need to listen to the other teachers. Then ask questions if required. Like if you have any, you are not able to understand, it's okay. We need to ask and we need to learn from each other. We should not feel ashamed, or we should not feel humiliated or something if someone says something. We need to learn from them. Like, what is, if you don't know, it's okay, fine. You need to accept and you need to go for it. And then next is we need, as a teacher, we need to be honest and humble, right? And certain things are there, like any achievements or anything, we need to celebrate. We also, teachers, as a teacher, we are like quite frustrated and stressful job we are doing, like, so we need to at times give time to our colleagues and be with them and share our feelings and emotions and all that. We have to come up with it. We can't keep anything out, any malice. You should not keep any malice in the heart. We should, anything has happened between the teachers or colleagues, any is very it's a small thing, but then it takes place. Sometimes you have a very miscommunication or misunderstanding that has took place. So all that needs to be, we have to forgive and forget. We cannot keep any ego in this institution where we are working, because then what are we going to impart to the children if we ourselves are not quite humble and honest and not be very trustworthy? All this will definitely be inculcated in our children. If we are following the right path, then we'll definitely be able to guide our children as well.
Okay.
So we need to respect everyone. Self-respect has to be maintained. Okay. And the offer has, we need to help also other teachers.
So positive.
And maintain relationship between the staff. where we are working.
So positive relationships are important because that cultivates the culture of the school and helps each other to maintain a good relationship with each other, and then you are not under stress, so you are able to help each other, you are giving a listening ear to the other. So that's very nice advice, ma'am. My next question is, which is the most stressing factor in the teaching job? Quickly, you need to answer me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an unexpected, for example, unexpected events which come up, after the long school hours. Like maybe there is a training or workshop. All of a sudden, the principal says, now you need to attend. And then, ma'am, in the school hours, what happens? We continuously have, exams, whatever we need to correct papers, notebooks, and all that stuff. So it's very difficult, after this, we have so much of work left, and then we are attending these, events and these trainings and workshops. So it's quite stressful. So that is one thing. And another thing is like, the daily lesson plans, what we do, whatever lesson plans we are making for the subjects. So it's like for all the subjects, we make lesson plans, as you know. So for that matter, we have already given our lesson plans for all topic wise, the subject wise. But then every day, daily logbooks has to be written after the school has. So that is very taxing, writing the same thing what we have already given. And I feel as a teacher, it becomes, it will reduce our stress. We can do our work, what is pending, rather than sitting and doing the same job what we have already done.
That's nice. So that means I think the education policy makers should understand that what are the causes of the stress for the teachers and work towards it to make the environment more better and decrease the workload, so that the teachers are able to give good quality time in teaching rather than doing the other donkey type works, what we say in our field, right?
Yes.
My last question, ma'am, would be, what is one last advice you would like to give to the aspiring teachers?
Okay. What I would like to say is, after my so many experience of in teaching, like we have to believe in our students' potential, man. Like a teacher's success begins with the success of the students. So learn and upgrade your field. I would say teachers must learn and upgrade their field, and always wear a smile on your face and be presentable. Okay, and take risk and challenges. Be creative and think outside the box, so that and you can do much more to the kids than being in a limited way. And always be punctual. Build good rapport with the students, teachers, and parents, which will definitely, coordinate among, you can cooperate with and support the child's, learning and the whatever the betterment we can do the child's life, that will help the child to grow and groom in a well-mannered way. And we need to, teach them with enthusiasm and passion. We need to teach children and set goals for the students whenever we are teaching them. So that will definitely, bring them, whenever they have to do something, they have to set a goal for them. And treat them with respect. Do not label them. Because if it was, we have to think first as a mother, be more than, before being a teacher, we are mothers. If it was my child, then what? So if somebody labels your child, how would you feel? So keeping that in mind, we should never label the child, and go that extra mile to work with students, so that they are going to be our future citizens.
Okay. So valuable advice, ma'am, given by you to the aspiring teachers. I hope the students who are aspiring to become good teachers go through this advice, understand it, and learn to motivate the students and develop, because I always say that we are not developing professions, we are developing human beings in the teaching professions. We are not making doctors, we are not making engineers, but we are making human beings in the teaching profession.
Yes.
So thanks a lot, ma'am, for being with us. on this channel of mine. Thanks a lot for spending your time with us and guiding with your valuable experience, what you have gathered in your years of teaching. I hope this will really help the teachers who are aspiring to become good and motivated teachers, and also motivate the teachers who are in the current profession of teaching. It will help them and guide them for whatever strategies you have shared today on the channel. So thanks for being on my channel. Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming and spending your valuable time with us and sharing your valuable experiences. um, uh, Thank you, teachers, and welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to my channel again with the next video. Do share your experiences when you watch this video, and comment in the comment box if you have liked my video. Do stay connected with us in the journey of educating the educators. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity.
Thank
It
you,
was
ma'am.
pleasure being with you. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
ma'am.